I'm gonna start recording again, my movie thing, tutorial. I'm muting sound. Alright, um, what I want to do now, sorry, I'm a little disoriented because I just was testing some stuff. What I want to do now is I want to texture this. I'm going to try a new method I just tested out, and I believe it works, but for general purposes, it may not be what you want. However, if you are an experienced Maya user and you use the Hypershade, I found a trick that you can use to bake a texture to a TGA file, and then allow Maya to call that and map it to your model. Real quick here, I want to show you the UV texture editor. You're going to have to get familiar with this. It's Window UV texture editor. I don't know why it looked weird there. Okay. You click this, you'll notice the individual shapes of your model. I can point out all of these pretty much. This tall thing here with the two sides is obviously your cube here because it's 6 sides and there are 2 things going through it. You have this, which it's probably this here. Probably, I don't know about that. Anyway, and you have the blade. What this is, the UV Textures editor, it's basically a way of texturing your model, but it gives you control in that you can load a file and wrap the file around this sort of UV texture thing. But there's a big problem here because you have like a quadruple overlap here. So what will happen is I will load up my test I just did just to show you an example because I'm too lazy to do it again for you. And you'll notice that I baked a wood texture on top of this, but you can see that because these share the same areas, well, I'll just let you look at the results. You'll notice that there's some overlap happening. You could probably match it up with the UV texture editor if you just look at it, but it's pretty obvious that the mistakes. You would not want to export it like this. What you want to do instead is I will go back to the original file. Alright. Note that you still have, remember that before you do any of this, you want one file. So make sure you combined it in the previous tutorial. Okay. What you want to do, open up your UV texture editor, Window, UV texture editor. We are going to look in the front view, so hit the space bar to whip that out. I'm going to go to the channel box and turn off the sketch layer just to have it out of the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Create UVs and Planar Mapping. I'm going to hit the Options box, and I just want to look at this for my own purposes. I'm going to try the Z-axis to project from. I'm not sure what will happen, so we'll see. You hit Apply, and look at the UV texture editor. Now that you could very easily work with. You could probably put a name, logo, or something like that. Stuff like that. You know what I mean. But before we do anything else, I should warn you that you're only looking at one side of the model. If you export it like this, just this texture or this UV map, and try to texture it, you might only get it on one side, and what'll happen with the other sides is it'll just get freaky. What you can do here is you have this selected. You can scale this and stretch it. And the reason you want to do this is because you only have so much space to map your texture onto. If you go to your VTF files, you'll notice that, or like, say if you took the CT model or knife model UV texture, it'll have all the parts of the model placed all around this flat image. That flat image is mapped to the model. So this knife will be mapped to the knife here. Now I'm going to deselect. So that's one side. I'm going to mess around with this. Let me see. UV texture. Let's go here. I'm going to do it from the side view this time. No, I'll do it from the top. Make sure you have the top view selected. The planar mapping is going to do it by, or is going to map it based on the current view. Cylindrical and spherical I haven't really experimented too with, but you would want to use them for cylinders and spheres. Automatic mapping, I've done it once. I can say it's probably not the best way to do it because the thing gets mapped all over the place. In fact, I might not even have my thing selected right now. Let me go in here, make sure, right click, go to object mode. Okay, let me go back here. Select the object. I'm going to do automatic mapping, just as a sort of demonstration of what it'll look like. And you can see some parts like each side of the blade. Good luck guessing what those blocks above it are, though. That's just an example. I mean, you can maybe get away with using automatic mapping, but you are at the mercy of Maya. And if you've used Maya for any length of time, generally you don't want to be mercy of the program. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so here's another planar map. Trying to Oh, I see. Okay. My problem is I'm actually selecting the entire object and saying this is the UV map. My mistake. What you want to do actually is select the faces. So right click, go to face. You want to just select all of these. So this will be one side. That was my bad. I apologize. So go here, you do your planar mapping again. Also, I did not have the right, what's it called? I didn't have the right